So I found this 2018 Corsa with 50,000 miles on the clock for £2,500. Just one slight issue being it seems to have had a little bit of a bump. Now of course with no experience in working on cars, I decided to buy it and try and fix it.
You're hard, showing off.
It should be fun. So I'm guessing the first stage of this process is making sure the car runs, which I have done. It starts. Okay. And I've disconnected the battery because there is some airbag tomfoolery to go on. And I watched a video that said make sure you disconnect the battery way before you work on the airbags. Okay, so having a look at what parts I need, I definitely need this door, and I also need this door, and potentially even this right wing piece. So I need this one driver's side curtain airbag on the inside, and this is the seat airbag that's blown. I need to find out whether I need to replace this entire seat, which is heated, so I need to find another heated one, or I can actually just replace that and then reupholster this, seeing as it's ripped open violently. So I picked up this side curtain airbag for £35 off eBay, and I also found these two doors from a scrapyard for around £130, which is actually not a bad price at all, considering I saw some on eBay for £300 for one single door. So I think I got lucky on this one. The thing that's a bit concerning to me at this point is where the doors have been pushed in, there's some slight crumpling on this inner door sill. That's something I'm going to need to look into and touch on later. So you can see the spare door, I've laid it out here on some cardboard. It's not in the best of shape. The hinges are broken. It looks like the scrapyards just basically ripped this off the car. So I took that piece out and I took the door card off. And then you can see here just how bent the hinges on the spare door, so that definitely can't be used. And the existing door has a fairly straight hinge despite it being crashed into, so that's the hinge that I want to use. So in order to take that hinge out, I had to remove some of this plastic, and I had to do the exact same thing on the car's door that was currently on there. So I used the heat gun to melt some of that glue, and I did end up breaking this plastic. That's what I get for filming with one hand while trying to work. And back to the scrapyard ripping this door off, you can see how the electrical connector's just been chopped off, so that will definitely need to be salvaged from the existing car. You see, I need to take this plug out of there, because that's the part of the electrics that go into it, I'd assume. However, that's the part of the door that's crumpled into it. So now it's basically trapped in there, so I need to figure out how to get this out of there, which is quite important that this stays intact. So I tried to get that out as best I could, but it was not working at all. So I had to bend some of this metal back. I just used a hammer and a chisel to bend some of that out of the way so that I could finally pull the plug out. And it ended up working after a lot of difficulty. So this is the door card that I got from the spare door. I'm going to leave that aside here because that's not in the best condition. The door card that was on the existing car, which is here, is a lot better in condition. So that's the one that I'm going to use. So I had one pile of all the parts that I took off one of the doors, that was the existing car's door, and I had another pile that was all off the spare door. So you can see I've taken that door off the car, and that's how it looks at the moment. And then I've slid that hinge in, that's the better hinge, that's actually straight. While the door card was off, I gave it a good thorough rinse down, and then I moved on to the front, and what on earth has gone on with this door card? I'm definitely not the first person to have taken this off, because whoever's done this has really mangled up that plastic. So the next part was getting the actual lock and handle out. I figured that I need to get into this hole here, use a Torx bit to move the ball all the way anti-clockwise, and then the lock mechanism slides out, and then move the same Torx bit all the way clockwise, and then the handle slides out. I wasn't really sure whether you needed this lock mechanism switched out for the new door, but I thought just to be safe, and so that the locks actually work without any further coding, let's just switch that out as well. And then I got to work on the spare front door, removing all of the door card pieces, because again we're using the door card from the existing car, not the spare door. So after that door card and all the pieces were removed, I went ahead and put the spare door onto the car. And the locking module that goes behind the handle and key, I switched out so that it retains using the original car's locking module. So this lock was all kinds of faffy, and it's in there now, and it does work. However, when you lock the car, unlocking the car seems fine. When you lock the car, it seems to lock and then unlock itself. I don't know if that's going to work. I've faffed about with it for a while. So I'm going to pretend to ignore that problem, and I'm going to move on to the wing mirror, replacing this wing mirror with this one, because this one is gloss black and it's in better condition than this one was, and this one wasn't gloss black. So I'm switching them. It's starting with this mirror.
So yet again, I'm using parts from the damaged door, which is just nicer than the scrapyard door that I bought. That's what I get for buying cheap doors, I guess. But look at the gloss black on that. It looks way nicer once that was switched out. And then these door plugs basically came out and they stuck in the metal part of the door when I ripped this door card off. So they needed to be put back in the plastic so that it pops in properly. And after all of those were in, the door cards could go on and some screws could go in to get them nicely finished up. And look how clean that is. Again, I cleaned this one before putting it on, and the doors are now on the car, and both door cards are in as well, which is a big fat win. Okay, so it's a new day. This is everything that was done yesterday on the car. So of course the two doors were fitted. They are a different colour to the car, quite obviously a different colour. So they are going to need to be painted, and I'm just wondering whether I should replace this or try and fix it. It kind of indents a little bit, but I will take it off and try and fix it, and if not, then it will have to be replaced as well. So the actual doors were a fair bit of faff. You can see the old central locking component is there, the old key component, the new handle from this door is here. So if you open this up, nice clean door cards that I cleaned up yesterday. So the door cards are from the original car's doors because they were in better condition, and then pretty much all of these components is from the original car, and the only part of the new door that's being used is the actual metal part of the door. Everything inside has basically just been gutted and used the original doors for all of this stuff. Now that the doors are on, this mess needs sorting out, this mess needs sorting out, this mess definitely needs sorting out, which might be the first priority for today, and then this mess needs sorting out. I have had a look into this, and it looks like that plastic part is a component that you can actually buy. It's around 50 to 80 pounds, and you can replace it and reupholster the seat. So if I can do that myself, I will try. On to today's tasks. So I see this locking wheel not on the floor, and I think, let me put it in the glove box. That is disgusting. I think it should stay on the floor. Okay, so the next order of business was this side curtain airbag. Should probably disconnect this before we start. And this is the replacement part, the side curtain airbag I bought from eBay. So I may cut half of this airbag off so that it's not dangling in my face. Right, so I've chopped that off. That can come out now. So these handles needed removing along with the sunshade and some plastics, and after that this half of the roof lining could be pulled down to reveal the bolts. And once loosening all of those bolts, I could take that airbag out of the car. And this is the spare airbag. I've laid that out exactly how the other one was fitted in there so that I know how to put this one back in. I've just rested it on there for now, and then fitted all of the bolts before actually connecting the electrical connector part, and finally put the roof lining back on and pushed all of that fabric back in. And then put the handle, the sunshade, and all of the plastics back on in place. Right, so that's the curtain airbag all sorted and sealed up. There's some creasing over there, which I'm going to fix with a steamer later on, but that's that all in and sorted out. So now we need to move on to the seat. It has been brought to my attention that 99% of the people watching this video are not subscribed to this channel and have not even liked the video. So do me a favor, like the video, subscribe. Thanks. Okay, so I've been waiting for around a week for this seat airbag to come. It's finally here, so I can fit it, and that would conclude all of the parts that need going onto this vehicle. And then it's just fixing some things like the door and the paint, and then seeing if the car actually runs and drives properly. I still haven't been able to do that because these are public roads and I can't drive it without insurance and MOT and tax, and I couldn't do any of that before I actually fixed it. So now that it's somewhat fixed, I can fit this airbag and then get on to some more important things like whether it runs and drives. It will need a full service, which I will most likely do in another video. I've never done a service before ever, so it should be interesting. I can't imagine it'd be very difficult, but hey, I'll give it a go and see what happens. So now moving on to fitting this last part of the vehicle, which is the seat airbag. I then just need to sort out the upholstery,
which I don't know if I can actually do myself. I might need to get an upholstery company to do that, because there's a certain way the stitching needs to be done so that the airbag actually deploys correctly when it deploys. It's very windy out, so let me try and get this seat airbag fitted. So with the seat airbag, I'm pretty sure it's this entire black piece of plastic that comes out and you replace it with a new one. There's a couple of bolts, there's one down there and there's one over there. You have to reach it from this back side over here. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off with this. So you can see I've got that top one off there and that bottom one needs coming off. Okay, now those screws are off, so this can be taken out. This is a safety clip for the airbag, so that needs to be popped up. So that clip has popped up, and now this can be pulled out of there. This is how the seat airbag came from eBay. It's in a shoebox. Hopefully that's legitimate. Alright, so this is what I got from eBay. Let's hope this is the correct part. I think it is. It looked right before I bought it. There we go. So let's move this forward. Where's the plug for it? The plug is there, so it goes in this way. It does have some bolts on it as well. I did keep the old bolts in case I needed them, but luckily this has also got some on, so these can come off, and then it goes in this way, and that plugs into there. Hopefully this does not blow up in my face when I plug that in. I disconnected the battery, so hopefully it shouldn't, but just to be safe, I'll probably get a little bit away from it and hope it doesn't blow my fingers up, but I think it should be fine. Okie dokie, so this plugs into here. Right, don't blow up on me, please. I would appreciate it. Okay, that's in. It's not blown up, so that's a good sign. There we go, that's clicked down. So now that that's down, that safety clip is in place, and this now basically won't pull out, so that locks it into there. Yeah, that seems to have done the trick. And now I can put this back in here. And now I will go around the back of the seat and put these two final bolts in. So let's do that here. That goes on there. That goes on there. And then I'll get the top one in. Okay, so now that that's done, I can just put this back in. There we go. This plastic part goes into here, and so that goes in there, and that's the back of it sorted out. Now it's just the front of it really, which is going to be a little bit trickier. So that's all done, that's in there, that is underneath there, folded in. So now it's just that side which needs stitching up. Okay, so you can see from this side the airbag is all in place correctly. The plug is in. This just needs stitching up now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this myself. I've done some research and it doesn't look very difficult to actually stitch up, but I'm not sure about the type of stitching, whether it's a particular type or whatnot, you know, any of that stuff, to make sure this deploys correctly in the event of an accident. So I might have to leave that to someone and get some quotes for that. Okay, so now that that airbag is in place, the only thing that is remaining are these body panels that are slightly damaged and dented, and the spray painting, which I'm not going to do myself. I'm going to leave to someone who's actually a professional. But these parts of the door, I'm not sure whether I can attend myself or not. I might try. What I'm going to do is do a little bit of research and see if it's something that I can possibly do. If not, just give it to the body shop that's going to do the respraying to fix these dents and pull them out or do whatever they need to do to them. Now you can see that over here there's a gap there, and I think it's because this metal part has been pushed in. I don't think there's anything wrong with this part per se, the plastic that goes on top. I think it's just that's bent in, and I don't know if there's anything I can do about that. But you can see going forward it doesn't look the best, but that might be something I might just have to live with, because I don't know how I'm going to fix that. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. There's still plenty to do. I need to figure out if the car runs and drives properly. I need to sort out all of the cosmetic issues. I need to service the vehicle, which I've never done before, so it should be interesting. If you have enjoyed the video even a little bit, please do hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this.